is one of the reasons that every Cutco knife comes with a forever guarantee, a powerful promise we've stood behind since our founding in 1949. That means your Cutco set will be the last set of knives you'll ever need to buy. 10 years, 20 years, even generations down the road, Cutco will sharpen your knives and replace any defective item for free. No one else does that because no one else is Cutco.
They stand behind their product, which is very rare. And they're an American company, which is even better. It's lifetime warranty, so I did have the experience of having it once replaced with no questions asked.
Warranty on a knife that we've had for over a decade, and we've had a couple of knives replaced that have been damaged. It was very easy.
Cutco can make this guarantee because of the unique patented design and the meticulous multi-step construction process that goes into its knives. It's what makes Cutco unique and a cut above all others in quality, durability, and user satisfaction. Cutco puts each blade through a 3-step heat treating process, creating the best balance of hardness, flexibility, rust and stain resistance, and edge retention. After that, the blade is meticulously polished to enhance rust resistance. And then comes the secret to Cutco's sharpness and durability, the exclusive Double D recessed edge. This process creates a series of 3 razor-sharp edges on the blade with pointed teeth that protect it from contacting surfaces that might dull the knife. The Double D recessed edge allows the blade to cut forward, backward, or straight down with equal ease. You can cut virtually anything, which makes food preparation easy, fast, and fun. Here's proof of how sharp a Cutco blade is. This is a tough piece of lead, and using a regular kitchen knife, even a brand new one, cutting it is practically impossible.
Okay, guys, so first and foremost, I just want to welcome you to your first Cutco, the first day of Cutco training. Okay, one of the biggest things that I really want to iterate and really impart for you is a lot of confidence. Okay, a lot of confidence in a couple things. One, ourselves as trainers. Okay, we certainly want to give you the best, and I want to give you confidence in the product. How many of you are? We all got the chance to cut some rope and leather, right? How incredible is that? Okay, so the next thing I also want to give you a lot of confidence is in our division manager. All right, we're going to bring him up here in a couple minutes, and just to give you a little bit of background on him, he actually started back in the summer of 1997 as a 19-year-old college student from the University of Maryland as well, back in Baltimore. Right, in his first summer, he was the #1 student sales representative in the nation. No one sold more than him. Okay, he sold over 75,000. I know that may not be too much, like you really don't have a basis for that, but really what that means, he made enough money to pay for his own tuition and pay his way through college as well. Okay, he actually was accepted into our management training course. He became an assistant manager and then a branch manager as well from there. He actually kept a whole Cutco through college experience, meaning he ran multiple offices as a college student, being the manager and retraining, and then by the time he graduated, he actually was accepted into, went 15 for 15 on interviews, 3 medical schools, 3 business schools, and the rest were other job offers as well. Okay, and those are the kind of experiences that we absolutely love to give and provide to you guys. So certainly give them a lot of attention. Today's training, we're going to give you a lot of confidence in the products. We're going to give you a lot of confidence in the program. But first and foremost, I want to give you confidence, and I want to introduce to you and bring up our division manager, Mr. Jeff Gembo. Please.
No. Get out of here. How's it going? Part of why I want him to share what I've done with the company is just so you know, when I'm training you, you can take a lot of confidence in what I'm teaching you. Okay, I've been doing this for 21 plus years. I was going to get purchasing a new car, and the general manager of the dealership at BMW in Fort Lauderdale, his daughter sold for a Cutco for us, Brooke Pelsky. And he came up, "Hey, Jeff," he goes, "Oh, my daughter's really enjoying it." And I said, "Yeah, I've been doing this for 21 years. He goes, "No way, 21 years. You don't even look," and it's the Filipino skin, right? The Asian. When I was 21, I looked like I was 15, to be fair. So here's what's really important. You might be nervous to train today, but we're not nervous to train you. We're really good at this. We're really confident in this. And I just want to share a few things if you could pull out your notes. And we'll start with, first of all, quick introduction. And I want to welcome everyone to our Cutco training. And I also want you to know we've interviewed a lot of people for the position. And I know one of you is coming back from having worked in one of our college student offices, but for it's Autumn, right?
Yeah.
For Autumn, Juan, Brandon, Parker, and you go by Juliana.
Yes.
Juliana. I want to call you Amy. So And Juliana, I want you to know that we've interviewed a lot of people for the position, and not everyone gets accepted for an interview. So you're the best of the best. And we have one young lady coming from school. So I just want to say, outstanding job on where you're at. And I also want you to write down 3 numbers for me: 10, 80, 10. I think this will be really good to start and set the tone for training. Okay. Everything we do, from the exercises to the results of your first appointments, everything we do is going to happen like a standard deviation, 10, 80, 10. 10% of you are going to mess up and struggle, and that's totally perfect and totally normal. 10% of you will go way above average. That's kind of like Alex, your buddy Alex from last week's training. And most people will hit a certain average, okay? And that's really important to understand, so that if we're doing one specific exercise, like for example, this weekend, let's say your results fall on the lower end. That's totally fine. The full training program takes 10 days for us to get you to really know the job, okay? So if you fall short, that's totally fine. We'll help you on Monday. If you're above average, we'll say like with Zach, well, then we'll help you sustain that. And then most of you will fall here. So just something to keep in mind. Also, I put down here 100% is the emoji, right? Engaged. The more engaged I can have you, the better. I think that's the biggest part of training. Training is not hard, but what you take from it is really important. So the more you participate, I would say being 100% engaged means you're seeking best practices. So we're going to give you a book today that has all the answers and what you read to the customer. You don't even have to think. You just need to, what did I say on the interview? You can cut a tomato, you can cut raw blood, you can smile, you can sell Cutco, or if you can just help them push and play the video if they're virtual. It's the same thing. So everything you need to know is here. So in your first 10 days, you don't have to be creative. You just have to follow directions, okay? Also, leaders that are really engaged in training, I can tell are really hungry to get better. And that's part of what we're looking for in training today and tomorrow before you start making money on Friday. It's that you're actively learning, taking notes. I think that's a big part of being successful here. And then finally, have personal clarity. Meaning, by the end of today and tomorrow, not only will you be learning how to sell Cutco products, I want to know why you're working with the company. I was asking Juliana, and she said that she wants to go do auditing for a couple of years, and then from there, stepping stone for her career. And I said, well, why are you working with us? And I kind of knew the answer already, but she said, I want skills that I can apply for my future, more or less, okay? Maybe that's for you. Maybe, and I'm okay if you say this, Jeff, I just want to make a lot of money. I'm totally cool with that. Maybe, Jeff, I want both. Whatever you want. But when you get really clear and you're really focused, then you become a better decision maker. Here's what I mean. You become a better decision maker because you learn how to say no more. So let's say it's this weekend, Juliana's focused on not being here, but being on the high end. She says, okay, I'm going to do my 12 appointments for sure, no problem, my 15 appointments. And all her friends say it's Saturday, and they, hey, come on over at 7 o'clock. And you say, you know what? No, I'll come over later because I want to do 2 more appointments. Oh, come on. Cutco can wait. I'm going to hit 13 appointments. I'll see you at 11. By the way, 11's fine too, right? I mean, I'll still be there, right? I'm going to do 2 appointments at 7 and at 9, and I'll see you at 11 instead. It's little things like that that can help you do really well with our company. And I'll should give you a few examples, okay? Part of what's important for training is that you really, really engage actively, okay? So when we ask questions to the group, it's really important to respond. It's important to take notes. And does anyone know why when you take notes and when you verbally respond, it's more engaging? Or does anyone know what happens, rather, when you do that?
You just retain the information.
That's it. Number 1, you just retain the information, right? So the more you do, the more you retain. Pretty straightforward. So what I want to do before we start, I'm going to share a few comments, then we'll take our first break, then David will take over training, teach you how to do the presentation, and then tonight, by the time you leave, you'll know all the prices, and you'll know how to set up appointments. It's really super easy. I'd like to introduce the staff. You don't have to take notes on this because I'll put this up every day, but it's really important to know that we have an awesome staff, a staff that will support you, a staff that's been hand-selected, a staff that many of you are friends with, by the way, a staff that is very experienced, and one thing you take a lot of confidence in. Everyone who's on the staff started like you, including me. So back in 97,
Whoa.
I know, 1997, when were you born?
8.
Before you guys were born, I was selling Cutco in a training just like this, okay? Similar training. And so you can take confidence in that. Number 2, I want to say this up front. We don't get paid to train you. We only get paid based on how well you do. Okay? So ready? If you don't do well, what happens? Yeah, we don't do well. So how do you think we're going to train you? Yeah, we're going to give you your benefit. We don't cut corners. Everything we give you is for your benefit. So keep that in mind. I want to introduce, you'll meet Luke, who's coming back from his last final at UF. Many of you interviewed with Luke. He's coming back tomorrow, last final today. Wish him luck. David, I'll introduce in just a bit. Actually, he'll introduce himself when he comes up. District Office Manager. So Luke is my right-hand guy. He's in charge of this office. My responsibility is to run the majority of offices in most of Florida and in the Caribbean. So whenever I'm not physically here, I'm coordinating those offices. Luke is the #1 trained college student in all of Florida and arguably all of the East Coast, probably top 3 to 5 in the whole country. And that's why he's doing what he's doing with our summer. He's leading this office. So you'll hear from him tomorrow. David is Luke's right-hand guy. Okay, so he's in charge of the office. I just own it and I'm in and out. This is the guy that's calling all the shots. And then over here, Lori, you'll meet. She's responsible for helping recruit more people onto the team. You'll hear about a contest where the more people you recommend to the job, the more prizes and potential trips you can go on. Lori's going to be helping you with that. And then, of course, our assistant team, who we'll introduce a few in a bit. Malcolm is coming back from Indiana this weekend, Indiana University, finishing up finals. Erica, who recommended you, Autumn, is she's off today, so she'll be in. Josie is finishing up her finals and will be back this weekend from the University of South Carolina. She started last summer. And of course, I'll introduce Mila. So Mila, come on up. So this is why Mila is such a great example for your office support. Mila was in your training 1 year ago, for the most part. Like 1 year ago, she was doing this same exact type of training. In her first 10 days, she sold just shy of
7.
Okay, so she made about $1,300, $1,500 her first 10 days on the job. She hit several levels of what's called a fast start contest. She did such a great job last summer that she was invited and interviewed for our Leadership Academy training, which is our corporate leadership and management training program in the fall. So I'll show more about that. What's really cool about Mila's situation, she got into the Leadership Academy and she's finished as one of the top candidates throughout the 8 months during the school year. Because of that, she's in the position she's in now as a full-time assistant manager. So she's learning to coach representatives, motivate representatives, run a business, and then in fact next summer she's going to be selected as one of our branch interns. So for 4 months, this young lady's going to move to somewhere in Florida or up and down somewhere the East Coast, and she's going to run her own Cutco office like this for just the summer. She's a materials engineer major at University of Florida, and so she's using this as a chance to build her skills to run her own engineering firm, or potentially one day have an option of at least being with us as an option, hopefully. And yeah, on a personal note, we love Mila. Those of you that know her, she's not shy, as you know. So she brings a lot of energy, and she's really good at following the training. Meaning, one of the things I knew, I could tell. I said, this young lady is going to do really well. It's because she's just, okay, well, what do I do? No, I'm not going to do it my way. What do I do that's been proven? And she kept saying that, like, what works? And that's why she's doing so well. So Mila, name, school, major, and then what have you enjoyed about your Cutco experience so far?
So hey guys, my name is Mila. I go to the University of Florida and I'm studying material science engineering. I just finished my sophomore year. What I've enjoyed so far about the job is the opportunity to not only grow personally, but also professionally. This is actually my first job, so I had no resume experience. So my favorite part about the job is, again, just the resume that I built just in the 1 year that I've been working with the company.
And as a materials engineer major, why are you doing Cutco through college? So meaning you're doing this through at least the next 3 summers.
So I considered, like you said, being an entrepreneur and, starting my own firm, but just for more short term, just having more options. I think it's something that can really set me apart. Most engineers are doing, the same kind of internships, getting the same kind of experience. And I think this can set me apart and make interviews more enjoyable as well once I graduate.
And 1 or 2 tips for the group?
Have fun with it. I know sometimes, like at first, I was almost taking it too seriously and stressing myself out about it. And the second I started to have a good time, my customers did too, and I started doing a lot better.
I think that's key. When you really enjoy it, the customers feel that, and they buy more. Frankly, I mean that's the honest truth. They buy more. Cool. Who's your favorite division manager?
Jeff.
That's a good answer. Thanks, Mila. And then I want to introduce Kirsten before she has to head out of here. So this is a cool example for you to see. Kirsten wouldn't normally be here. So Kirsten started with our company in our Boca Raton, just like you, in our Boca Raton college student internship office. At the time, one of her childhood friends from from high school, from middle school, from church, Luke from our office, said, hey, I'm going to be running my own internship office in Boca. I'd like you to work for me. She goes, sure. So she went up and she was one of the top reps in the entire division that summer. She sold over
The summer, I think
20.
20 before I went to, I was only
Okay,
here for a
so
little bit.
yeah, so she was here for half the summer and sold $20,000. So for income purposes, that's $5,000 in income, working part time. It's pretty cool. And she got into her leadership training program just like Mila. And then 1 year later, she was an assistant manager. So it's interesting. Last year, she was the assistant manager and she helped Mila in training. So now 1 year later, Mila's now the new assistant manager. And this young lady going into her junior, going into her junior year at Florida State is actually going to be running her own internship office. So Mila's 1 year behind her track. So she's actually going to take over the office that she started in. So in about 10 days, she'll be opening up her own office somewhere north of here to run the Boca Raton team. She's been training for 8 months. She's going to put that onto her resume. And last summer, she was part of our $1 million summer. And just to give you a frame of reference, very few offices in the history of the company have sold $1 million worth of Cutco in one summer. And we became, I believe, the 10th or 11th office in the history. I don't know the number. But she was a big part of the supporting cast. So on a personal note, Kirsten has been one of our favorites ever to work with. It's just the tap.
They're disagreeing.
Yeah, they're
you're
just.
saying.
It's like, we agree with Kirsten how awesome she is. Kirsten's been so much fun to work with. I think personally, I also connect with her very well because we kind of have the same values. And it's just really awesome to see strong, powerful, professional women kick butt in our business. I really love watching her grow, and I'm excited to see her run her own show this summer. I think about 2 years ago, she was just a rep. So we'll start with you, name, school, major, and what you've enjoyed so far about your Cutco experience.
Hey guys, like he said, I'm Kirsten. I go to the Florida State University. I'm a double major in professional sales and marketing, and I'm going to be a junior, so I just finished my sophomore year like Mila. One of my favorite parts about working for Cutco and Cutco through college is I've met my very best friends through working through this company, and we've kind of all realized that you can have your cake and eat it too. And I say that to everyone and they're kind of like, what? But you can be professional, you can grow your experience, you can build your resume, but you can also go to college and enjoy that aspect of your life. And you don't have to limit yourself to what you can learn and the things you can gain while you're still getting an education. And that's something that once I realized that I can do that, because quite frankly, I started because I needed money for college. And now going into it, and going through the whole process, I mean, I've changed my major. I've realized that I have such a passion for business and the company. And in the future, I mean, I definitely see myself working here long term, more than just through college. But when I do graduate, I have a broadened options. I have broadened options of what I want to do.
Yeah, and what does this do for you and me? Why do Cutco through college for what you were originally going to do it for?
So I have always wanted to be financially stable and personally independent from my parents. My parents have, I love my parents, but we have 3 girls in our family, and I want to one day have enough money where I don't have to ask them for money and they don't have to support me. And I want to give back to them one day. And I want to make sure that all the work that they put in raising me, I can give back.
That's cool. Good. Any tips for the group? This is a while ago since you've done this.
I know. Definitely. I love how Mila said have fun, because that is such a big factor of doing your demos. And I mean, your customers feel comfortable when you're comfortable. And it's so important to realize that 10-80-10 is so real, because even if you are that high 10, you're not always going to be that high 10. And it's important to not get too high in your highs and too low in your lows. And I think that's an important thing. And also follow your manual. As he said, I mean, this is how it works. We've been doing it for years. He did it. The CEO of our company used the manual, and quite frankly, it works.
Yeah.
So don't try to stray away. Don't try to add anything onto it because you think you just want to add things. Follow the manual.
Yeah, and it's interesting because all 3 of these individuals all had a really good first weekend for the most part, meaning they were on the high end of their first weekend sales by Monday. So both of them, I think all of them hit their 2nd or 3rd promotion between the time they left training and they came back on Monday. So they all made about $400+ within 48 hours, which is it's a nice start. Would you give any tips on how to get up to a fast start?
So definitely see your best people first. See the people that you think will like the product, will enjoy you coming over to see them, and he'll talk about later your MAC customers, your customers that are married, 30 plus years old, and own a home, because those are the people that need Cutco. And if you believe in it, you're able to sell it.
Yeah. One tip on how to have a good first weekend.
Have conviction in the product.
Yeah. And how do you get more conviction in the product?
Use it.
Yeah,
Use the
just use it.
product.
Yeah, the more you use it, instead of saying, "Oh, well, it does this," it's more, "Oh, it's Juliana. The other day, I was using it, and this is what I used it for." So,
Oh, and also cut a lot of food.
yes, cut lots of food. And then, David, one tip for a good first weekend.
Top people and a lot of enthusiasm, your excitement, your energy, enthusiasm sells more than anything else.
Okay, good. Thanks, guys. We're good to go. Good luck in your final tonight.
Thank you.
And then we'll chat tomorrow. Text me about the email.
I will. Enjoy training,
Thanks,
everyone.
Karen.
You're learning
Okay.
from the best.
So welcome to our office. Our office is one of 40 plus divisional pilot offices. All you need to know is that I'm responsible for most of Florida and the Caribbean. So that means our office is considered the head of the Florida United Division. So we have a higher standard here. We take a lot of pride in the higher championship caliber performance. For what it's worth, last summer, only one office in the whole country sold more per student than our office. Right? We had one of the highest productivities of the entire country, and only one office sold more than us for new students. So you can take a lot of confidence. We're a championship team. Our goal, again, is to sell not just $1 million this summer, but $1 million from new representatives who just learned the job. Why? Because it means our new students are getting lots of skills and making lots of money. So we're really motivated by that. And it's an awesome time to be selling. Can anyone guess why summer is such a sweet time and why we just explode in sales every year?
Kids are home.
Yeah, kids are home. Ready? Broke kids are home too. What does that mean?
More people want to make money.
Yeah, we have a very motivated sales force that spent a lot of money during the semester, or have things to save up for, or ready, have resumes that are empty, or ready, have nothing to do and want something productive. All of the above. So I applaud you for being here. And our team name, we're known as the Fort Lauderdale Inferno, like fire, powerful, unstoppable, and you'll hear us talk about the Inferno all the time. So welcome to the team. Before I get into training, and I'll let David do all the technical stuff, I want to give you a virtual tour of the office. Is that cool? So take a look. Minus the really cool fancy Cutco knife picture. Luke's mom did that. That's pretty cool. Everything in the office means something and has to do with your training. Everything, okay? So for example, it says have a 10K fast start. Those are people who have succeeded on the higher level within their first 10 days. And we'll mention that. Okay. In the back, there are trophies. That's just to show how successful of an office we are, so you have confidence. In the back behind you, you see different pictures of different sets, just to get you more familiar with the product. And right behind Autumn is a glass case with a whole bunch of cool accessories, including Cutco from 1949 when we first made it. It's on the top. So Autumn, actually, you can grab that brown. Yeah, grab one of them. Yeah. Just be careful. So if you look at that, that knife right there is from 1949, and it's still. It's only been serviced twice in what's that, 60 plus years? In 60 plus years, that set has only been serviced twice, and later I'll show you how it cuts. It's the same product you're selling. Over here, all the different awards and promotions you can earn with the company, including the pins that go with it. Over here is tracking for our contest. Remember Giovanni earlier was laughing, saying, man, I'm really mad at Mila because I really wish I'd recommended Juliana. The reason he's mad is because there are trips and contests that they're all trying to win, and Mila just passed Giovanni for the contest. So that you'll learn more about that and how the more you recommend people, you're helping us. So we're going to throw a lot of really cool prizes to you. Summer Conference 1, this is on June 12th, and I'll talk about this later, but our biggest, baddest, most high-level instruction, motivation, and really the best event of the summer thus far is in Fort Myers, Florida on June 12th. It's going to have the best of the best reps and managers in our entire division there, teaching people how to sell Cutco at a high level. Think of it as an elite sports camp for only the best people who are invited. I want you to know that we're going to be inviting people from your training group to that event. So what do I look for? Who's coachable, who's got good work ethic, and that's it right now. And of course, follows directions. Okay, so if you're interested, make sure you tell David or Mila during the break, hey, what do I have to do to get invited to Summer Conference 1? Okay, and then over here are just some different more promotional posters. But of all the things, and David, let me put your laptop's about the back. Of all the things that I could put up on the wall, where do you think I'd put the most important things? Back, side, or front? Yeah, front wise, so that you always see it. Okay, so take a wild guess of what the most important thing in training is going to be that I talk about. Go ahead, Otto. Just read it. Have a fast start. Okay. So I want you to pull out your notes, and I want to talk about specifically these 4 posters and why they're important. Okay. First of all, I want to talk to you about having a fast start. Okay.
So, fast start equals your first 10 days.
Thanks, Parker. So your fast start equals your first 10 days. So starting tomorrow night, that's day 1. Your first 10 days in the job is what we call your fast start.
It's also your full training.
Here's what I mean. How long does it take us to teach you how to make money here? Meaning, when can you start making money? Tomorrow. Yeah, so it only takes us 2 short sessions to teach you how to start. But as far as getting fully trained, that first 10 days is your full training, okay? Now, here's what's really cool. I'm gonna show you something we call having a 10K fast start. Okay. A 10K fast start is when someone sells $10,000 to $20,000 worth of Cutco or more within that training period, first 10 days. Okay. So let me show you why people put the work into that. A couple things that they benefit from. Okay. Number 1, first of all, is the income. That means if someone sells $10,000, they will have made $2,000 in 10 days. Or if they sell $20,000, it'll be $5,000. And it continues to go higher from there. Okay, so if someone's really motivated to make a lot of money in a short period of time, I know Luke. That's how Luke started. Luke started because he got into a car accident. His dad said you have to pay for it. Fender bit, like he was texting. Okay, that's really motivating for him. So he worked really hard, and he made about 18. He made his bumper payment to replace the whole bumper in 8 days. So that was motivating for him. For some people, they like the fact that they get free products. So they're going to get free Cutco. Okay. And they can earn up to, I'll put up to, $1,800 worth of free Cutco product. So some people are motivated by that because, number 1, they just really love the product. And one day when they have a family, they want to have it and they got it for free. But that's a little bit far out for some of you. Why a lot of people like it, it's like smart business. They like the fact that they have more Cutco to show than what was given to them in training. Why is that helpful? Variety. What does that mean, Parker? So if I'm a mom and dad and you have way more, let's say Mila has her starter kit, but Parker's got the whole set. Who's going to sell more? Wow, Parker. Watch out. Yeah. But why?
Because I have more to show.
Yeah, because the more you show, the more you sell. Same thing. And some people get really excited about that. Okay. Another part of it, okay, when someone sells $10,000, this is one of my favorites. We have what's called VIP night. Okay. And VIP night, I'm having flashbacks from your training. Okay. VIP night, I want you to imagine this. One of my things I love to do is take people who are hardworking and follow through on what they're gonna say they're gonna do, and reward them. And one of the things that my fiance Heidi and I love to do is we like to wine and dine and take kids out and take students out and take friends out. So VIP night is our version of creating a networking opportunity combined with a really baller, fun, epic experience in downtown Brickell, Miami. So what we do is we go to one of my favorite restaurants. It's called Dolores, right in downtown Miami in Brickell, where I used to live. And we get a VIP room, we have a little VIP menu, we have private wait staff that comes in. And what we do is we want to treat you like VIP. In fact, you have to give your name and they say, oh, can I help you? And you'll say, oh, my name's Juliana, I'm here for the VIP night. And they'll go, oh, welcome, congratulations. I pay them, make it fun, right? Say, oh, congratulations, well, come on in and let me show you to the private room. And I really want you guys to experience that because if you work really hard, you should get really great rewards. Now, some of you come from families where you guys do things like that all the time. That's okay, but I want you to be able to do it on your own. And I think that's a really cool experience. The business side of me, though, has a really big ulterior motive. I really want to network the high flyers. I want to network A players. I want to network performers to meet other performers. So if your training group, there's 3 or 4 of you that have a $10,000 or more fast start, I want to have that downtown epic dinner experience with the other 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people from the other training. And that way I have a dinner. And when you're having a dinner with performers, eating with performers, everyone's success goes up. And it's cool because people start to text each other. They exchange numbers. In fact, I remember Mila came to her first one and she got Andy Janti's phone number. And Andy Janti is one of the Cutco legends in our company. He's over $2 million in Cutco sales. Think about that for a second, right? Our most popular sets are just the price of a laptop. So like about 1,000, 1,800. He sold $2 million plus. And he gives his number out to everyone at the event and says, hey, if you need anything, you have my number. And Mila's not shy. So, hey, how do I do this? Help me with this. How do I have a bigger order? And she knows Andy very well on a first name basis, text basis. And he's one of the gods of our company. So pretty cool. So if you're into that, networking, also just you like epic food experiences, that might be motivating. Also, if someone sells $15,000 or more, put 15,000, we have our tropical trip payoff. 3 days, 2 nights. And I can't tell you where, but I can tell you all inclusive. I can tell you tropical destination, and I can tell you this much before David tells you tomorrow: Caribbean or Mexico. That's what I can. That's all I'll tell you. If you know, then shut up. Like if you know where it is. Did you tell him already? Oh, you didn't?
Oh.
You of all people did not say.
I think I just forgot.
Wow, that is this is rare. Okay, so if you love to travel, then this might be something motivating. And one of the things that's really cool is it's all inclusive. And Heidi and I, get the chaperone. Makes you sound like kids, but we know when to leave. How about that? We know when to go to our room and have our, we know when it's time for you guys to have fun. But if you're really into traveling, that's also can be very motivating. And then let me share with you the top 2. I'll end with the last 2 most motivating things that push people to want to go for this. Number 1 is called Dirty 30, and Dirty 30 is our fun nickname for the 30% commission level. So you see here, this is just from the interview. This is the scale of how you get paid with the company. The more you sell, right? I'll go here. The more you sell, the higher your commission, and this is what you've earned once you've hit these. Just so you know, you can never go backwards. Okay, young lady, give me your name again.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. So Tiffany started in our Boca branch office almost 4 years ago. 4 years ago, right? Whatever level of sales she's at, she's just gonna pick right back up. She never has to go back down. So 30-30 is when you get to 30% or higher, you have to sell 10 grand. Now, most students, when they do the right job, usually hit 30-30 at some point in the summer. What I'm saying is a lot of people like to do it within 10 days, and here's why. When they hit 30-30, that means they can work part-time for the rest of the summer, but they earn full-time pay. I think that's a really exciting opportunity, meaning our students can work a couple of days a week, but still make their paychecks that are more full-time than part-time. But some people, like Mila got to 30-30 very quickly and said, I don't want to work part-time. So she worked full-time. And she earned big-time pay. So what's really cool is if people go for a $10,000 fast start, they have the opportunity to work part-time but make full-time later. And that's something that's really exciting for them. And then last but not least, I'll put down TLA. It's an acronym. And you can write down the Leadership Academy. TLA stands for the Leadership Academy. And what this is Cutco's version of corporate and leadership training. So when you've heard of all of the news about Cutco and how we're the largest college student recruiting company in America, when you hear about all the students that use us through college to build their resumes, this is what they're talking about, Leadership Academy. What it is, it's not an actual university or school or academy. It's a program that goes during the school year. It's really flexible. Some of it's online, some of it's live. It's monthly. And what the students do is they attend a course with us where they're learning people skills, business skills, money skills, self-motivational skills, public speaking skills, and things that they're used for whatever major that they have in an effort to A, gain more skills and confidence, B, move into internship and management positions like these guys have, and C, also create options for career opportunities with us as an option when they graduate. So to give you an idea, okay, Leadership Academy is usually the top 30% of all of our summer reps. And at the end of the summer in August, I'll be interviewing about 150 to 200 students for about 125 spots, 100 to 125 spots. So if you're interested in a leadership training and that opportunity to build your resume, potentially do Cutco through college like these guys, I would say that can be fairly motivating. Okay. So my point is, when you see all this and all the things you can go for, the things that you can get from going for $10,000, would you agree that something there's motivating for someone? Agree? I bet you all of you already know which ones you're motivated by. You probably can pick your top 2. Okay. I'm not sure which one. So how come everyone doesn't have a $10,000 fast start? Well, I just want to show you, having a $10,000 fast start, it's not hard, but it does take two things. Okay. So to have a 10K or higher fast start takes two things. Number one, students have to be willing to work hard. They have to be willing to, put the work into it for 10 days. Doesn't mean they'll work this hard all 10 days. They might want to go part-time later. But it just means in the 10 days, they have to give it their best. Okay. Number two, they have to get coaching. Right? They have to be willing to come for a few extra coaching sessions from us outside of the 2 days of training and outside of what's required, just to get extra training and extra skills. And one doesn't work without the other, because if someone's willing to work hard but they don't get coaching, what's wrong with that?
Don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing, right? Exactly, Parker. But if someone's willing to be coached but isn't willing to work hard, well, what do you call that? Lazy. Yeah, that's just lazy. So if you feel like, hey, I'm willing to work hard, and hey, I'm coachable, and I'd be willing to do a little bit more, then let's talk. And during the break, let me know you're interested. Our first coaching session for 10K coaching is actually tomorrow, and it's the hour before training. So tomorrow we start at 1. If you're willing to get the extra coaching, come on in at 12, and I'm going to run an extra coaching session for this. Okay. So also during the break, if you feel like you're interested, let me know. I'll sign you up. Cool. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second, MAC, and I want you to write this little diagram up here. MAC. MAC is an acronym that represents married. A is for age. C is for casa. Spanish for home. Okay. MAC customers are the best customers. MAC customers are our best clients. They're the ones that buy the most. Okay. Going back to the 10K fast start, the 3 sets you see in front of you, and Dave will cover. This is called the Homemaker. This is called the Signature. This is called the Complete. You'll memorize it at some point. This is for people who have to cook, like they have kids, but they don't want to cook. This is the set for people who like to cook, where once a month they have a party, but that's it. And then this is a set if you love to cook, like you're the top chef, mom in the family, or you only want the nice things. Okay, these are the 3 most popular sets. If you remember from the interview, Luke covers this, I cover this. These are the prices of roughly a laptop. Okay, you guys familiar with Apple? Okay, you guys know what a 12-inch MacBook Pro costs? It's the most popular MacBook sold in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, with the student discounts like 900 to 1,000, but normal it's about 1,200. Okay, that's that one. That's like a laptop. And then the 15-inch, it's like 1,800. Yeah, that's this one. And then the Big Daddy, if you like DJ or if you like digital design art, was a visual something. If you do video and editing, if you're a DJ or you just like the big screen, that one's like 2,200. Okay, they're very similar in price. So if people can buy a laptop, they can buy a set of our best knives. So having a 10K fast start, I just want to point out, it's not hard. You just have to sell 1 of these a day, and people do it all the time. But you have to get coaching and be willing to work hard. When you show Mac customers, that's all they buy. Right? Because when you say a Mac customer, well, take a look. Mac means married. Why is married customer always better than a single customer? Not every time, but
Double income.
double income. That's the main reason. That's it. And if you have kids, you're more likely, if you have married, you're more likely to have kids. What does that mean? No matter what, you at least have to cook. That's this one. You guys see that? Don't get me wrong. I just want to be very careful though. There are single people that buy a lot of Cutco. But when you're new, who do you think I want you to show first? Single or more established first? Yeah, in your first 10 days, show the Mac customers. Once you're done your first 10 days, you can show whoever you want. You can show whoever you want. Now here's the cool thing about that. There are people that maybe they're not single, or maybe they're not married, maybe they don't hit this exactly, but they're still really good customers. We call those your top 5 customers. Okay, now I want you to write that somewhere in your notes, top 5. Top 5 customers are mostly Macs, okay? But these are the people that no matter what, you should try to see them within your first 5 appointments because they're more likely to buy one of these sets to start or get something big. And what get something big means they furnish their whole kitchen Cutco, right? And I'll talk about what happens when you mess up and what they buy. So these are the most popular. People can get something big, like get their whole kitchen to be Cutco. Or if you mess up, we get them at least a grocery bill worth of Cutco. And I'll show that in a second. Top 5. These are the people that when you show the product 9 times out of 10, not 6 times out of 10, it's going to be a pretty good sale, either at least a popular set or higher. And who do you think we recommend? Who do you think are the sales that when you show them, it's pretty much a really guaranteed, really positive, good sale? You want to guess, Parker? Who's a good top 5 customer?
Parents.
Parents.
Older people.
Which older people? Not all older people.
I mean, like 60s-ish.
Actually, no, not a good customer. I'll talk about that in a second. Ready? Watch. Well, let me. I'm going out of order. Married, we know why. Two incomes, right? 30 to 65. How come not like 21 years old?
Not in the market.
Not in the market, right? How come not 25 and just graduated college? Still on the market. How come not 65, 70, 75?
Leaving.
Yeah, retired. They don't need to cook. Probably don't want to cook. My mom. She's like, I've had 4 kids, no more. Right? With the accent. Casa home. How come homeowner versus home renter? What does that mean? When you own a home, it means what financially?
More stable.
You're more stable, okay? These are the best customers.
But these top 5, these are the ones, let me show you, who are the best. Ready? Number 1, mom and dad.
Okay. And for most of you, when you show mom and dad are gonna buy a set or higher from you because you're such a good salesperson, because you have all these business technical skills, right?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Parker, why mom and dad buying from you?
It's mom and dad.
Because it's mom and dad. Yeah, of course, because they love you. Now, not all mom and dads are top 5. Let me be very clear. A top 5 mom and dad is the mom and dad that's, honey, yeah, of course, yeah, whatever, of course. Or, oh, you're like my mom. What are you selling? Okay, we'll buy. That's a top 5 mom and dad. Not top 5 mom and dad is what is super skeptical. We will sell them Cutco, but not in your first 5 appointments. I want you to get confidence first. Because this first weekend when you do appointments, it's not about practice. It's about making sales and getting lots of confidence. So if your mom and dad is not a top 5, meaning they're skeptical, they're not, then we'll show them when you get better. Probably on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But if it's mom and dad, oh, honey, Julianne, whatever you want, yeah, then that's a top 5.
Here's another one. Ready? I'll put G-Ma, G-Pa. What's that mean? Grandma, grandpa.
And why is grandma, grandpa? You already have a good grandma, grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and why are you not in your head? When you think of them seeing Cutco, what do you think of?
Well, first of all, they'll just give me anything.
Yeah, exactly. They'll get anything. And ready, watch this. Top 5 grandma, grandpa is the type that says, oh, honey, congratulations. You just graduated. Okay, grandma's going to buy you a laptop. Well, grandma's going to send you to Disney for your graduation gift. That's a top 5 grandma. Not top 5 grandma, grandpa. Oh, honey, nice job. Here's $5. That's like the retired cheap grandma. We'll show her later, just not your first 5. You guys see that?
Another one. Ready? Your best friend's BFF's mom.
And not the BFF's mom who's always giving you a hard time. Your BFF's mom who loves you and it's like second mom. The one who will support you.
Okay. Also, I'll put fave as in favorite. Your favorite neighbor.
And again, not the mean neighbor who's always giving you a hard time, who's always complaining about something. I have that. The other neighbor, oh, honey, come on over. Yeah, and bring your friends too. We'll feed you. Like that neighbor who's, anytime mom needs something, she forgot to go to the grocery store, you go to that neighbor's house. Like that kind of neighbor.
And then finally, favorite aunt.
Okay. So David's going to do an exercise later where I want you to pick out your best 5 people. Remember, it's not going to be your easiest 5. It's the 5 that you know will be the best appointment. Okay, give you confidence so you sell at least the laptop of the set or higher. Got it? Okay. So what's the best customer call? What do we call it? Mac customers, and of course your top 5 are those people. Got it? 2, let me talk to you about the averages. This is really important. National averages. So the national average order with Cutco is 300. That's if the appointment doesn't go the way it's planned and the customer doesn't get one of the most popular sets, they at least get to an average order. I'll say that again. When you do the presentation Dave teaches you, you will sell one of these 3 sets. This is what you do to do the job. See that, right? You got people who have to cook, like to cook, or love to cook. If for some reason either a rep is new and doesn't quite do the presentation the right way, or maybe the customer just had some type of big purchase, so they have like a buyer's remorse. I'll teach you that later. Whatever. No matter what, we'll get them to 300. And anyone know why 300 is no problem if you show a Mac? What's $300 to a mom and dad who is over 30 that owns a home? Grocery bill, yeah. Anyone know your weekly grocery bill at home? Did anyone know what your parents spent on a weekly basis?
That or more.
Ask them. Ask them tonight. Okay, let me give you an example. I went to Trader Joe just for 5 days last week. And I'm a guy, so guys typically eat more than girls, right? And I tend to eat a lot of protein, very stereotypical, I know. Right? So I'm getting chicken breasts and cauliflower rice and all this healthy stuff. So I went to Trader Joe's just for me. You want to guess my bill? For 5 days.
Two.
Yeah, 150, 125, 150. Okay, and then you add Heidi. When Heidi and I are long distance right now, but when she's back home in July, add another 50 to 100. And then when we have little Gambolas running around, little mixed babies, add another 100. $300-400 a grocery bill, even 250. Anyone work at Publix before? Yeah, ask your friends that worked at Publix. So my main point is, if you mess up, you'll sell at least a grocery bill. Cool. 60%. That means when you show Cutco to a Mac customer, 60% of those turn into sales of something. Okay. Now that's the national average. That's not always our average. Our averages tend to be a lot higher, sometimes 70, 80, 90 in some weeks. And for people who are maybe learning in their first 10 days, it might be a little bit lower, but on average it's 60%. And then when you do a presentation, works out to about 5 to 10 average recommendations you get every time you finish an appointment with the customer. So if I see Juan and his wife one day, and they're my favorite neighbors, at the end of the presentation, they're gonna buy one of these 3 sets that are the price of a laptop. If I mess up, they're gonna buy a grocery bill, and I'm gonna walk out with 5 to 10 more of their friends' names and numbers. And we'll teach you all that today and tomorrow. Cool, so far so good? With me? Thumbs up if you understand so far. Easy, okay. And the last thing, this is the pay scale. This is how your commissions work. My goal, by the way, by Monday, is that 10% of you will probably sell either right at or just under your first promotion. Okay. Most of you, 80% of you, will sell between 1 and 3,000 by Monday night and hit your first or second promotion. And also, by the way, make $100 to $400. And then some of you, like Zach last week, sold $7,000. So he made over $1,300 his first weekend. And you'll hit 1, 2, you'll hit 2, 3, or 4 promotions. And I'll show you how to do all 3. Okay? Good stuff. Okay. So that being said, let me give you a couple keys to success and we'll take a quick stretch. Number 1, positive attitude. One of the things you'll notice here is everyone's positive, smiling, supportive. So if you're having a rough day, leave it at the door. Keep it positive in here. Doesn't mean you can't have a bad day. That also doesn't mean be fake. It just means that here we want to create a positive, respectful environment. Number 2, help each other out. When we role play, we only do a little bit of role play today, but we do a lot of role play tomorrow, and even more role play Monday next week. It's practicing. Role play like you mean it, and role play like you're really with the customer. Why? Because what's the saying about practicing? Practice makes perfect. Yeah. They also say perfect practice makes perfect. So make sure you practice the right way. Use the manual. Number 3, be responsible. The assignments aren't for me, they're for you. So if you do well in the assignments, it'll help us support you. If you don't do the assignments well, or you don't ask for help on the assignments, it's hard to follow through. So here's my thing with assignments. I'm totally cool if you can't hit an assignment if you talk to me before. Right? Let's say Juliana has something come up and she says, Jeff, before I leave, can I talk to you about that assignment? That's fine, and I'll work something out. But if, let's say one, and I know you wouldn't do this, let's say one shows up and says, yeah, I know it was due, but I can't work with that. Would you say that's fair? So just make sure you bring your best to the assignments and make sure you communicate. Number 4, be a professional. So language, dress, everyone looks great, by the way. Respect factor, gentlemen, always gentlemen, ladies, always ladies. Supportive team environment. Be professional with your customers, be professional with us, and vice versa. Educate yourself. So there's a website, Cutco.com. At some point, go to Cutco.com, not today, and learn about the different programs. Okay? Ask Mila questions, ask David questions, and ready for crying out loud. Please, 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 please use the product. I don't really get mad at you guys, but I would get mad if you told me that you don't use your Cutco at home. That's like me going to the BMW dealership. How do you like BMW? Nah, I don't drive a BMW. I drive a Benz. And why are you working? Right? You guys get that. Hey, Mila, just come on back. Okay. So far, so good? Okay. And the last few things is I want to share some objectives. Okay. First of all, we want you to make money. I think that's really important. Come on in, Lex. How's school? Good?
Yeah,
Good. Come on in.
fine. Thank you.
So financial success. We want you to make money, and I don't want to shy away from that. Here's what's really important. Okay? Even by your first weekend, I want you to make between $100 to $400 by Monday. And here's what's really cool. I know where most of you have worked before this, and I know you're not making $100 to $400 in 2 days at your other jobs. No. We do that I want you to know that's average here. And if you're like Zach, and Zach, by the way, did the 10K coaching, he's willing to work hard. Zach made $1,300 by Monday. Actually, you're friends with Zach too, right, Lexa? Okay. So I want to help you make as much money as possible. In fact, I'll show this couple things. We want you to make a lot of money, but note that some of you will fall a little bit short on Monday. Most of you will be here, and some of you will be on the high end. But remember, training is not 2 days. How long is training?
10.
It's 10 full days. So don't judge your income by Monday. Judge your income by the following Monday. That's really important. Okay. We talked about 10K Fast Start. And ready? If you work hard for your first 10 days, you decide to continue to work full time like Mila, you could join what's called our 5-figure club. And we had one of the highest amount of 5-figure earners in the country out of our office, meaning 18 to 22 plus year old students who made $10,000 or more in one summer. And I love those conversations. I love Grant Strayer, who's from Boca, and his dad said, you cannot attend Indiana University because right now we're not willing to finance it unless you pay your $10,000 worth. And he said, okay. So he came up, and every year for the last 2 years, he's stroked a check for $10,000 and said, Dad, Cutco summer, here you go. And I think that's awesome, by the way. I think that's awesome. Here's some examples. You might know some of these people. St. Thomas University School. It's Jeremy, right?
Yeah.
It's Jeremy. So these are weekly paychecks. Every Wednesday, one of the most fun part of the most fun part of the week every week is our Wednesday team meeting. It's where everyone who sells Cutco, the new group, meets the old team, and we do recognition. We also do instruction, and we get a chance for everyone to set their appointments up together as a group, because it's way more fun. And we recognize anyone that had a pretty good paycheck for the week. So if you notice, there's Jeremy, $1,200 for the week. There's Josie Daga from St. Thomas, $1,500. Who else here? Some of you might know Kate from St. Thomas, $701. The reason I put 701 and 514, those actually aren't the bigger paychecks, but that was on like 1 day of work, 2 days of work kind of deal. There's Casey Geddes before she went away to play lacrosse at Colorado, I think, $1,600. There's your guy. There's Gio. Gio, he's gonna be so mad. And then there's Mila with her $1,800 paycheck last summer. Okay, so I also want to talk about experience. I think that the other part of what I want you to gain is lots of great experience. I got a chance to interview only one of you. Lex and I interviewed. Some of you interviewed with Luke. Short term, you're gonna make a lot of money and have a lot of fun. Long term, I want you to be able to build a better resume and have more skills. I think that's really important. And Florida United represents the Cutco team that I'm responsible for. And one of the things you can take a lot of confidence in is that our office managers, our leaders, are really, really determined to make sure you have kick-butt resumes when you graduate. I don't care if you're graduating from high school this year or if you are a rising senior and about to figure out your life. We want you to be a better person for your Cutco experience. That's why a lot of students will do this. It's called Cutco through college. And that's where they will work hard to gain their skills, build their resume, and make money with us. That's what Mila's doing. That's what David did through college. Ultimately, we want you to be 5-star college students. Okay. Anyone like sports here? Anyone know what's a 5-star athlete in high school? What does that mean?
That you're gonna get a
Yeah,
lot.
you're the best, right? Meaning every college is calling you,
Yeah.
and you can go wherever you want. Well, unless you're an athlete, we're not really making 5-star athletes here. We are making 5-star college graduates. We want you, when you graduate 3-4 years from now, whenever you graduate, we want you to have your pick of your job and your major because of what you did with Cutco. Okay. For those of you that go to schools that have a DECA program, anyone familiar with DECA? DECA is a national organization built on business leadership experience. And last year we were named the Company of the Year by DECA. It's a national organization at most schools developing business leaders. And I can say confidently, this is something you can put on your resume just from finishing this training. This is the largest college student recruiting company in North America. So there's no other company that works with high school seniors and college students more than we do. So you can put this already within 48 hours, you have something for your resume. Part of the experience too is attending professional business events. And that's why I wanted to mention earlier, the Summer Conference 1. Actually, I would want you to put the date in right now. June 12th, it's a Tuesday. June 12th is our Summer Conference 1. And again, this is the event where we have the best of the best managers and students who are invited to have it's a one-day session where you're going to learn tips and techniques from our best managers and leaders. And here's some examples and pictures from our past events. You notice, you can see it's packed. It's over in Fort Myers, and the entire state of Florida shows up. Okay. So before we go to break, I just want to wrap up with a few tips, and I'll give you the schedule, and we'll take a quick bathroom break. Okay. Number 1, on time, please. 15 minutes prior, unless, like Lexa, ahead of time, you work it out with us. Okay. That way we can start right on time. Pretty simple. Here's my rule with this. As long as you let us know ahead of time, then we're flexible with everything. Like, I mean everything, including parts of training, as long as you let us know ahead of time. Be a professional, we talked about that. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The staff is super helpful. Mila is our assistant, she'll help you. And David will be running majority of training today. Be aggressive. Be an aggressive, active learner. And then have a Cutco notebook. So everyone has that, right? Sweet, perfect. And don't forget to study your materials. Okay, any questions so far? Pretty straightforward. Okay. So what I want to do is go right to the schedule. Okay. So the whole goal of this training is to help get you off to a fast start. Alexa was coming in a little bit later. Can someone catch her up and explain what does it mean to have a fast start or 10K fast start? You can tell me. What does it mean for that?
Basically make $10,000 worth of sales. in
Yeah.
2 days.
So working hard to sell 10 grand in your first 10 days. The whole goal is to get you a lot of confidence, okay? When you do appointments tomorrow night, Saturday and Sunday, it's not just for you to get through it. It's for you to make sales and feel really good about the income you're making and the skills you're gaining. That's what I want to be able to talk about on Monday. So let's talk about the schedule really quickly. And this I want you to get down, then we'll take our break. So first 10 days. Okay. So first of all, the initial training. Day 1, and day 2. Today we started at 2 o'clock. And when do we end? 11? 9. 12? No, 9. Just kidding. So we go 2 to 9. By the end of today, you'll know how to do a full presentation. We're going to give you your own blue book, which is the pictures you use in the presentation. You're going to get your own manual, which is what you read when you meet with customers. Okay. You'll also learn how to pick your best customers to start with, and then how to contact them for an appointment. And before you leave today, you're going to set up your first 5 appointments. Okay. So you'll set up 5 appointments before you leave tonight, and it'll be around your schedule, the way you want to work it. Number 2, tomorrow we go from 1 to 8. Okay. Now I want to put down the high flyer coaching. We'll call 10K coaching. That's going to be from an hour before. So if you're interested in learning about how to go for a 10K fast start, the first coaching is 12 to 1. And then the regular training is 1 to 9, 1 to 8. And this is where we'll teach you how to get recommendations. We'll teach you about the fast start contest, like all the specific prizes. We'll announce the trip that you can win to the tropical destination. We'll even show you how you can get in on those bonuses. Remember the bonus I talked about when you recommend friends? Yeah, we're going to hook it up tomorrow. And we're going to let you know all the things you can win. And it's super motivating. Okay? And then you end with us giving you Cutco to use. And you either go to your first appointment live, or if your top 5 customer lives in California, you just go right next door to that office, hop on the computer, and both of them make your first sale. Okay? So then from there, okay, you'll do your first weekend of appointments. And here's what I'll say too. Today you'll set 5 before you leave. Okay. Tonight you might set up another 1 to 2 more, and then tomorrow you'll get the rest of your appointments. Okay. Now, as far as number of appointments, let me give you an idea. The magic number, meaning the number I want you to shoot for, is 10 or more to at least have a solid start with the company. And I'll show you what that means and why. When you do 10 appointments, it's all math. If you do 10 appointments, what percentage of 10 should buy, even if you're just average? Who remembers from the 60%? So 60% should be a sale if you do 10 appointments. What's the average order if you mess up and don't sell our popular size? Yes, $300. Excuse me. So just by doing 10 appointments, even if you are average, meaning 80% average, not high flyer like Zach, you've already hit your first promotion just within 48 hours. That's why most people show up Monday between these 2 levels. Okay, just by doing 10. Now, if you want to go for a big fast start, I would go for 14 to 18 plus. If you're looking to go more like earn 1,000 or more by Monday. And to give you an idea, not everyone takes 10 days to do a 10K fast start. If you want to do average, you just sell one of these a day and you hit a 10K faster. Alex Thomas did it in 3 days because he had to go on his senior trip and didn't have any time past Tuesday. So he packed up Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday morning and hit it before he got on the bus. So it's really, it depends on how hard you want to work. Excuse me. Once you finish your first appointments over the weekend, we'll have what's called advanced training number 1. And this is where we'll come back after your first few days and see how things went. That's going to be from 3 to 7 p.m. on Monday. Okay. And here's what's really cool about advanced training. No matter how you did, below average, average, or high, that's when we reconvene, and then we give you more training, more tips. We'll also teach you how to call recommendations on Monday, which are people you don't know as well. So how do you expand your market from there? We'll also give you some extra tips on how to get more recommendations from if you have a smaller family, let's say. Then from there, you'll do more appointments, and you'll have more skills and training. You'll come back a few days later for a second advanced training. It's the last one. Advanced training number 2 is Wednesday from 4:30 to 6. And this is where we'll teach you how to get more efficient on making phone calls and how to create a better schedule for yourself. And notice this trainings get shorter and shorter. Once you finish advanced training 2, that is the last of your in-office training for your first 10 days. Okay? And then right after, you'll stick around for my favorite part, and you saw the picture already, for a Wednesday team meeting. Okay? And that goes from 9 to 10 p.m. So in other words, you'll be here for your training, and that ends at 6. So what do you do between 6 and 9? As a team, we set up our appointments all together for the weekend. That way it's all kind of all done. It's the concept of either you work out by yourself or you go to the gym with your friends. And why do you think people are more motivated to set up their appointments from the office together? You want to guess?
Confidence.
More confidence.
I feel like
Yeah, there's competition. And we have fun prizes. So for example, I spend about a couple $100 every week, and I buy a bunch of gift cards. Starbucks, Chipotle, yes, like that one, right? Chipotle, Starbucks. And we have a putting green. And every time you get 2 appointments booked for the weekend, there's a bell somewhere around here. Oh, here we go. So we take the bell, and every time you get 2 appointments, you ring it. And when you ring the bell, you get the golf club, you get the putt, and if it goes into the hole, there's a gift certificate at the bottom of the hole, and you get the $20 gift certificate. So people get really motivated to not just do the appointments for their money, but they can win extra prize. So it gets really fun. And then afterwards, we always go out either for food or for laser tag, or both. You guys did both one time? Crazy. I don't go to that, but right. So, and why do you think our team loves to go out after? Besides the fact that it's a young team, what do you think? Why do you think we encourage the team to go out every night, every Wednesday?
It's a bond.
Yeah, it's a bond, and then create that team atmosphere. Okay. And then the very last thing, which I think is a lot of people's favorite part of the job, which is the flexibility. We have our one-on-one schedule meeting, and we call that PSP for short. I'll explain what that means in a second. One-on-one schedule meeting, PSP, and you'll learn this on Wednesday. PSP stands for paycheck, schedule, and phone. Paycheck, schedule, and phone. What does that mean? Well, number one, paycheck. Let's say Alexa is coming in for a one-on-one. We'll say, all right, Alexa, this week, what do you want your paycheck to be this week? Sweet. Okay, well, this is how much work it would take. Are you willing to work this much? Actually, Jeff, more. Okay, cool. Let's up it. Or maybe Juliana says, no, Jeff, we got something on Thursday with the family. I want only a little bit less. Okay. Well, if you want to make this much money, this is what you have to do. When we map out S, your schedule, and then here's what's really cool. Most of you have had jobs where you've worked, and how do you get the schedule? They give it to hit one. Here's how you're going to work, and if you don't work it, you find another job. All the way around here. It's okay. What schedule do you want to work, and you give that to us. That's pretty cool. And the last thing is phone. So on Sundays, when we have this meeting, people will just stick around after the one-on-one meeting. This takes about 10-15 minutes, and they just stick around and book their appointments for the week. So it's all done, ready to go. Okay. This is Sunday, 5 to 6 p.m. Okay. So here's what I want you to see. In your first 10 days, we're going to talk to you and see you every other day. We're going to see you often. But once you're done the training, which is 10 days, we don't see you every time like this. Okay? The only times we see you is Wednesday for the meeting and to make phone calls with the team. And then when you come in for 10 to 20 minutes to walk through your schedule. Anything outside of that would be like Mila, let's say, is because you like to get the extra coaching. And that's on you. Cool. So lots of support. Of all the things I just covered, the most important thing I can tell you is make sure you hit your magic number of appointments, okay? And make sure you see your best 5 people over the weekend, okay? Cool? Okay, good. I have 3:26, so let's do this. Let's take a 15-minute break. That way, the restroom is down the hall, in the middle of the hall to the right. If you need to step out for some air, if you need to make a phone call, I'll get a chance to catch up with you. And 3:26, so 3:40. Let's start back up at 3:40. Does that work? Cool. And if you haven't done the paperwork, David, you can take care of that. Cool, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.